The Longest Yard, Arcade Mode, Balance Changes, and more all arrive on the arena today. Let's have a look at what you can expect. To start us off, of course, we have The Longest Yard, the return of DM17 of Quake's long gone in the past. A brand new reimagining of the map, and quite honestly, very fun to play. It's very different than your average Quake experience. This is very much so a casual map. This is not something that you're going to see in competitive duel, competitive 2v2, or frankly any competitive mode whatsoever. But if you're wanting to load up an arcade mode with your friends, play some Instagib, play some Hot Rockets, play something special and just for fun, or you want to practice that rail aim, practice that machine gun aim, practice that lightning gun aim, whatever the case might be, grab a seat, pull up some bots, have some fun in The Longest Yard. A full review of this map, my thoughts on it, how best to play it, where you can find every item and piece of kit on this map can be found here on my YouTube channel just a few videos back, and I will leave a link to that in the description below as well as in an annotation at the top right of your screen here. Moving forward, we have arcade modes, as we've already alluded to. Unholy Trinity, Hot Rockets, Mystery Champion, and Team Instagib. Let's go through what each of these game modes actually ends up being. Unholy Trinity, of course, a play on words of your already well-known and well-loved Holy Trinity of the three most powerful weapons in Quake: the rocket launcher, the railgun, and the lightning gun. In this mode, no weapons spawn in the map. Every player has these three weapons right off of spawn, and you have infinite ammo for all of them. Active abilities are disabled in this mode, even though you do see them in the GIF playing here. No abilities are allowed in this mode. In addition, I believe that I have heard from other players that there is no self-damage in this game mode and that you can rocket jump a lot to your heart's content. This may be incorrect. I do not see any note, either way or not, on these patch notes, and I was not able to play Unholy Trinity myself in the PTS. I never had the opportunity. But that is something to check for yourself once you get to play this mode. It might do no damage to yourself, and it might. I'm not completely positive, to be wholly honest with you. But Hot Rockets, I do know for sure. No self-damage on the rocket launcher only game mode of, well, Hot Rockets. I have heard triple damage stated by both community managers and in this post that we are looking at while recording this video. Triple damage seems to be the case. However, I've seen some other postings and some other players saying that it is quad damage. I'm really not sure what to expect. I believe the intention is triple damage. I believe the game mode actually is triple damage, but I have heard some people call it quad. At the end of the day, though, does it really matter? When you're looking at a casual, for fun arcade mode just like this, probably not. Either way, a lot of fun. This game mode has been a huge success, actually, on the brand new map. Just because, well, it's so open. Everyone's trying to hit those directs, those long-range shots, get those crazy angles. Everyone's rocket jumping all over the place. It is that true DM17 experience in this mode. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun over on our brand new map, The Longest Yard. Next up, Mystery Champion. If you have played other similar hero shooters, this should be no shock to you. Die, respawn with a new champion, die again, respawn with a new champion. You have no say in the matter. The game selects for you. Does not care whether you have the champion unlocked or not. You get to play every champion in the game for free in this mode. You do not need a champions pack. You don't need to have anything unlocked. You can play every champion. You can't select which one you get next, but one way or another, you will play every champion in the game in this mode. Otherwise, it is just your straight up free-for-all deathmatch. No other special rules apply here. Just random champion selection. That's it. Team Instagib. This should be pretty self-explanatory. 4v4. Most frags win. Pretty simple. Looking like there is an increased score limit in this mode. I do not see a note as to whether or not it is 75 or 100. But nonetheless, an increased score limit can be had. 4v4 Instagib. Lots of fun. And of course, abilities are still enabled. Those are not changing whatsoever. Next up, we have a brand new weapon skin in the form of the Trespasser, the Quake 2 Super Shotgun. This will be available only for purchase either... let me rephrase. This will be available at launch only through loot boxes. I do not believe this will be available for Platinum on day one, but give it some time. Whenever the Trespasser makes its rotation through the market, if you'd like to buy it directly for the premium currency Platinum, you may do so. But otherwise, I hope you have a lot of loot boxes saved up so you can try to RNG your way into the Trespasser right on day one. I know I'm going to be mashing my way through as many of my shards, as many of my chests that I have, trying to get this brand new shotgun because it looks and sounds phenomenal. Next up, we have the addition of bots as backfills in matches. This was in the game in the past. People didn't really seem to like it, and it kind of fell out. And now it seems to be returning. Hopefully, there has been some sort of lesson learned with bots backfilling and seeming to take over slots from human players, which I don't believe ever really was the case, but I think that was the player base's perception at large, that when they see a bot in the game, that it takes over for a human, and a human cannot actually join that spot, which I don't believe was ever true. But nonetheless, bots backfilling uneven matches seems to be returning. So we will see in due time how the community responds to this. My initial impression would be that the community is probably going to hate this, even though it's exactly what they wanted. They're still going to probably be upset because rebots in my public mode. But nonetheless, hopefully we see something good coming of this update. I know I am looking forward to it just fine. I think it will be A-okay. We have some performance updates coming. Apparently, those who used the optional gore system were having performance spikes caused by respawns, so that has been addressed in this patch. There have been some other updates as well. You can read the patch notes to see the exact language of what has been changed, but overall, some performance updates. Hopefully your frame rates and your frame times, your stability, will increase at least a little bit. Now, the real meat and potatoes of this video, this is the part that I have been rubbing my hands over for the last few minutes as I've been getting through our initial stuff here. Balance changes. We're going to just run right down the list, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on how I believe the metagame will shift based upon these changes. Keep in mind, I am not an elite level dueler. I am not an elite level 2v2 player. My opinions on competitive play may not be the best of anyone you may see on YouTube. I will do my best as a gold to potentially platinum level player if I actually really tried and ranked, which I don't. That said, I play a lot of team deathmatch. I play a lot of Quake champions. I watch plenty of competitive Quake champions. We'll do our best to give you guys the fairest opinions on these, but I wanted to give you that little asterisk. I am not a professional player, so please, if Rafa says something different than I do, you should probably listen to Rafa. But if I got it right, then hell yeah. First up, we have Anarchy. The cooldown of his ability drops from 50 seconds down to 45, and his disable shoot duration drops by 0.6 seconds. So, Anarchy has been nearly completely unplayed for the past few months. He used to be God tier. He was nerfed to bottom tier, essentially, and has not really managed to make a recovery since. They have been slowly buffing him, just giving him a little bump up here and there over the last few months. And I think this update will be the one that pushes Anarchy back over the edge and makes him a playable champion yet again. 5 seconds on his cooldown does actually matter a fair bit. 1 fewer hourglass, give or take, that he will need to get that ability back. He'll be able to just inject more consistently, and that is an extra 50 points of health that can be an overheal. You can use that immediately before a fight to come in at great speeds with an overstack that a light champion should not have, to basically have the hitbox and mobility of a light champion who is actually boosted above a light champion while having the stack of a medium champion. Anarchy is a menace. At least he was. And this patch seems to be pushing him in the direction of becoming a menace yet again. The big reason why I believe this is true, and not just because of that 5-second change, is because of the disable shoot duration change. So that's a very strange variable name. I'm sure that the actual variable in the game is not that, but it's a plain stating of what actually happens. So when you inject, once you press the inject button, you have a 1.35 second delay before you're actually allowed to fire your weapon again. That's reduced by 0.6 seconds. So you can more aggressively press that button and continue fighting. But almost as importantly, injection becomes an even better panic button thanks to this change. If you get caught out in a weird fight and you immediately panic and press that ability button, you can react and start shooting back nearly twice as fast as you could before. This makes Anarchy very, very good, a lot easier to play. The skill floor rises, meaning that even the worst player is going to perform better with this champion because of these changes. So, is it too much? Can't say until we really get to play the game on this patch update. It has been completely fruitless trying to test for balance changes on the PTS this patch because everyone was too busy playing arcade modes on the brand new map. Everyone is busy memeing hard or not playing PTS whatsoever. I have gotten fewer PTS games on this PTS than I've gotten on any PTS because of a lack of organization of PTS players, and that is depressing because there have been some very big balance changes coming in this update that I don't believe were tested very hard by a lot of players. At least if they were, it was done completely privately by professionals, and us normies did not work hard enough to learn about these changes. So a lot of this is going to be pure speculation, unfortunately. BJ Blazkowicz, his cooldown increases from 40 to 45 seconds. The duration of his ability drops by 2 seconds down to a total of 5. His machine gun and lightning gun rate of fire while dual wielding drops slightly. BJ has been a menace for the past few months. People are very tired of BJ commanding the metagame in duel and 2v2. Hopefully this will help to bring him back in line where when he pops that ability, he is still incredibly deadly, but he's not so good that he is the go-to in nearly all matchups on nearly all maps. But not a whole lot else to say there. Just hopefully he is not as dominant. Clutch. His cooldown of his shield is increasing from 35 to 40 seconds. The duration of his shield drops also by 2 seconds. And the shield hide time increases by 0.2 seconds. So, Clutch has been a champion that a lot of people just do not want to deal with in duel and 2v2. He is very oppressive, in my opinion, breaks Quake in a way that he breaks Quake in a way that is neither fun nor interactive for the vast majority of the player base. Even though his mechanic is simple, it's still not something that people want to adapt to and deal with when playing Quake of all games. So Clutch has had in my opinion, the most tumultuous balance of any champion in the game, save for maybe Anarchy. Clutch is always bouncing around, both literally in-game and figuratively in his balance, and I have absolutely no idea where to put Clutch right now. This ability cooldown change is probably very good. It makes Clutch more beholden to hourglasses, which he probably should be. The duration on his shield going down, I think, is very healthy for the game. His shield hide time increasing means that when he shoots while having the shield up, the duration of that shield downtime before it recharges and comes back up has increased by 0.2 of a second, which will help you to account for ping much better when trying to shoot back at a Clutch, because trust me, when I've been playing 2v2, I have had plenty of situations where I am trying my best to react to that shield coming down with a super shotgun at point blank, and I cannot react fast enough to click on him and hit him with the shotgun and punish him. Between me getting bounced by his point-blank rocket launcher and then trying to fight against ping, lag compensation, interpolation, whatever the case may be, more often than I'd like to admit, I am whiffing that shot by plunging the whole thing directly into that clutch shield. I do not like the fact that I am having difficulty doing that when specifically watching for the shield to go down. I have to make a prediction on when he's going to shoot a hit scan weapon back at him. It's a little ridiculous. So hopefully these changes make him more fair for the average normie like me to compete against a halfway decent clutch. I think the champion is still probably going to be very good as a niche pick in 2v2 and duel. But maybe at the elite level, things may be different. I can't comment on that level of play. But overall, I think this makes Clutch a much healthier champion to play against. It makes him fit a little bit better within Quake champions. I still don't like him, but whether or not I like him does not have a bearing on how good of a champion he is. And in the right circumstance, against the right opponent, Clutch is oppressive to a degree no other champion could ever hope to match. Moving on to Death Knight, we have a number of changes coming in for him. Instead of reading everything off to you in a very boring, monotone way, let's just go over the main overarching change here. Death Knight is going to work a little bit more like Slash, in the sense that the fire on the ground that he drops will damage you at 10 points over an undisclosed rate. So I don't know quite how fast it actually deals that 10 damage tick per, it's going to tick 10 damage over and over, just 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. I assume at the same rate of Slime Trail, but I don't know for sure because the patch notes don't tell me. So basically what's going to happen is you're going to get damage over time by standing in the fire. When you leave the fire, you're going to continue taking damage over time, but only at a rate of 5 damage per second as opposed to 10 like we had before. So it's essentially half of the damage over time that a Sorlag might do with their spit. But it's still a lot of damage. The duration of the fire on the ground has been decreased a couple of seconds. The cooldown has been increased by 50%. There's now damage fall off when you have those 3 fireballs converging on an opponent. Now you're not going to deal 150 when the thing is 2 meters away. It's going to actually have damage fall off and do nearly nothing. So that is very, very good. Overall, Death Knight is approaching a better balance. I'm still not a huge fan of the way he works because he just still does too much. He has a direct damage ability that also deals damage when standing in it directly on top of a DOT. So it's like 2 separate DOTs that are stacking now and can potentially do more damage than it could before. But although less of it is guaranteed, but the potential has increased. The chaos of this ability has increased. Duration going down is good, but overall, I mean, the ability does a lot. This does a lot of damage, a lot of area denial, a lot of area control, covers way more surface area than Spit can ever dream of. And I still don't like it. I think Death Knight is still going to be very powerful. The ability cooldown going up is going to be really good at making him less ridiculous. The splash damage fall off is going to do a great job at making him less ridiculous. Hopefully this is enough of a change to make him a little bit more in line with the rest of the medium champions without completely overshadowing Sorlag still. Hopefully Sorlag can start to find a place next to Death Knight. And certainly she will when CTF comes out, because stacking fire and spit is going to be complete insanity and absurdity. And I promise you, everyone is going to complain about it a lot when CTF comes out, unless DOT stacking is addressed before the CTF patch. We'll have to wait and see if something like that happens. Because I'm telling you right now, you do not want to take 10 per second from spit, plus 5 per second from fire, plus extra standing in the fire, I'm in the wrong spot, I'm sad now damage. Like, it's too much damage for not actually shooting someone. Sure, 2 abilities are involved, but I don't know whether or not it's good. So we'll have to wait and see. But keep that in your heads. Think about that. If you think I'm wrong, tell me. If you think I'm right, tell me. Because I am purely speculating on that. But these changes are potentially good for CTF, potentially terrible. It's really, really hard to say until we see the map pool, flag locations, and just what the emergent meta ends up being. Anyways, let's move on. Scale Bear. I don't really understand this first patch note. Improved bull rush target detection. Very, very rarely have I ever hit someone with a bull rush but not gotten damage and felt cheated by it. Usually it's because I wasn't going fast enough. But apparently they have identified something going wrong with bull rush and fixed it. So cool, A+. I like playing a Scale Bear because he's so ridiculously good and everyone underrates him by a lot. So a better charge is good for me. Bull Rush's damage reduction has also been made more powerful. Like, really? Really? I don't think that was needed at all. But he has it now. So now instead of taking half damage, he takes 1/3 damage. So he basically has protection. The protection power up whenever he presses his ability button. Absolute insanity. I don't think he needed that, but he got it. He has it now. I still think Scale Bear is ridiculously good for DM and TDM, and not many people are playing him. If you're watching this video still, for some reason, I strongly encourage you to try Scale Bear in DM and TDM. Now, 2v2 and Duel is another story. This will probably help him out a lot in 2v2 and Duel to actually be somewhat viable in specific situations and specific matchups. But DM and TDM are going to be overrun by Scale Bears if people finally realize the champion's good. It's just a matter of time. Next up, we have Slash. This is a very strange patch note. I don't have any clue whatsoever why it was worded this way. Josh, Tokyo, I'm sorry. I love you very much. I don't mean to be rude to you, but dude, what the fuck? I know what it means, but it doesn't actually mean anything to anyone. Like, max speed from 18 to 50 meters per second. The game is measured in UPS, not meters per second. So just, this patch note actually means that when you're strafe jumping as Slash, you no longer have a reasonable, achievable cap on your speed. Previously, she was speed capped at, I think, 910? 810? 810, 910, something like that, on strafe jumping, much like her crouch sliding. There was no difference in the speed cap. Now that has changed. Crouch sliding will have the same speed cap, but strafe jumping will allow you to break that, meaning that Slash has some really cool stuff coming for CTF. She's going to be even faster than she already is, which is absurd. So we'll have to wait and see how Death and some other CTF heads out there are going to do with an ability like this. Sorlag, getting thinner, hit the gym. She is now 5% smaller in size. Thank Gaben. Sorlag needed that badly. Disable shoot duration has gone from 1 second to 0.75, excuse me. Again, same thing as Anarchy. After you press your ability, your gun is lowered for 1 second, and then you can fire again as Sorlag. Now, you can do it a quarter of a second faster. That is fast enough to make an appreciable difference in fights. Sorlag is approaching viability in standard game modes on small maps, and is going to be even more of a mainstay in Sacrifice and CTF. Sorlag, I think, is one of those champions who is very polarizing. She's very good for objective modes and very terrible for fragging modes. So do not count her out. Just because you can't play her in Deathmatch on Burial Chamber does not mean she's going to be bad when CTF comes out. So keep an eye on her. She's going to be good. She's going to be very, very good, with not a whole lot else changing about her in the next couple of patches, if I had to guess. Strogan Peeker. The delay before Peeker's charge has been changed from 1 second to 3/4 of a second. You can now charge with Peeker a little bit faster. Previously, you could charge instantaneously. There was essentially no delay. Then they made a 1 second delay, so you had to commit to Peeker a little bit more before you could actually dive bomb. And they're buffing Strogan Peeker just a little bit, giving him a little bit of that kamikaze ability back. We'll see what it does to make him feel better. The champion is already very strong. It's very strong already. I don't really know why they changed this, but hey, it is what it is. We'll take it. Peeker's step height is changed from 0 to 0.3 meters. I'll be completely honest with you. I have absolutely no idea what Peeker's step height means. I don't know. I don't have an answer for you. If I find one, I'll leave a comment down below and I will pin it so you can see it. But I don't know what it means, and it's nearly 2 in the morning, and I don't want to call Joshua Boyle and be like, hey man, what does this patch note mean? Tell me now. So we're just going to let this one go, okay? If you guys are still here, I'm sure you'll forgive me. Visor's duration on his ability has gone down by 1 second. Not sure why. I think the champion is more balanced now. I don't think he's picked to a degree that is completely insane. But hey, 1 fewer second. It is what it is. The champion is still very powerful. Not a huge difference to the average puppy. Maybe appreciable enough to make a difference in 2v2 and duel. Who knows? I don't. But I think it's fine. Weapon balance changes. We have the machine gun. The spread has been increased on the base machine gun. Technically, a 50% change from where it was before. However, the spread actually went from 0.02 to 0.03, so it's not that big of a change. However, in practice, I did notice the starting machine gun feeling less accurate than I was used to. It was a noticeable change, and the starting machine gun is not going to be the powerhouse that it used to be in 2v2 and duel. It's still going to be good. It's still probably going to be the preferred weapon in most situations, but it's not bad. It's not a terrible change. Heavy machine gun has had its spread reduced. It's now in line with the starting machine gun. So both have the exact same spread of 0.03 undisclosed units. Whatever that might actually mean, I don't know. But the spread percentage, I guess, on both the machine gun and heavy machine gun are now identical. This is a normalization, just like the shotgun and super shotgun received, which we will talk about in just a moment. But first, the zoom spread of the heavy machine gun has been reduced from 0.01 to 0. This means that your heavy machine gun is now a hit scan lightning gun that shoots across the map with no spread. None. There is none spread on the heavy machine gun when you're zooming in. It does not do the DPS of a lightning gun, not even close. But you're never going to miss a shot due to RNG now. If you're zooming in with that heavy machine gun, every shot that you place on their body correctly will hit, servers willing. So that is interesting. Heavy machine gun was already very good and very underused by the average player. You should use it more. You should very much so use it more. You cannot blame your misses on the game now. Now it's all your fault. Now it's all your fault. Shotgun. Rate of fire going up by 200 milliseconds. That's the starting shotgun. Super shotgun has its rate of fire increased also to 1,000 milliseconds. Again, Mr. Boyle, I love you very much. I hate to be mean to you. I hate to disagree with you, but why 1,000 milliseconds? Why are you denoting them this way? 60 rounds per minute seems better, but there's more important things to worry about at the end of the day, I guess. Tribolt. Your rate of fire here is going from 1,000 to 1,200 milliseconds. Previously, you could fire 1 shot per second. Now, it takes you 1.2 seconds per shot. Tribolt being nerfed. Who would have thought? Starting ammo reduced from 15 to 10. Probably fine. Max ammo from 25 to 20. Cool. Less spam in Quake Champions is good. I like the idea of less spam in Quake Champions. Please, less spam. Thank you. Tribolt nerfs. Cool. I'm a fan. I don't think it should be nerfed any more than that, though. I think that's the limit. That might even be too much. But yeah, definitely don't go any further than that, guys. Definitely not. And that'll do it for our balance changes. We have a few other small changes here. And then we will go ahead and wrap up this video. Please pardon my salt. It is 2 in the morning. I'm very tired. I love you all very much. Gameplay updates. Matchmaking now has a feature called skill banding. Again, this is one of those things where I have no idea what that actually means. But if the patch notes are to be believed, the size of matchmaking pools for very low and very high skill players will be increasing. They will have an easier time finding matches. This means that all of you at your very high skill levels will be matched against Rafa every single game. Good luck and have fun. In the tutorial, the Scale Bearer, God, I can't say that word right now, Scale Bearer bot battle tutorial segment is now replayable. I didn't know that it was not replayable before, but now it is. So if you want to duel an easy level Scale Bearer on Big Covenant, not Blood Covenant, Big Covenant is what I'm calling it, feel free. You can do that now. Friends list updates. You can now view the profile from your friends list. Thank you. I've been wanting to do that for months. Now I can. You are great developers, and I love you very much. Next up, hide banned players' names from in-game player searches. Cool. Good. Let's do that, please. Banned players removed from leaderboards. I thought that was already a thing, but it's a patch note now, and apparently it's a friends list update, so that's cool, I guess. UI updates. We have a new Play Now menu. This is actually super cool looking. I was a big fan of this when I first saw it in the PTS. This is a great design. I love the way it looks. Keep it up, guys. This is good. Tutorial UI changes. No screenshots of that, unfortunately. But hopefully it's for the better. Leaderboards. You can now see there are 5 icons in the top left of your screen. It's an extra one. It's a little championship cup. That will show you the leaderboards. You could also see those at stats.quake.com. But now they're in-game. I don't know if you can see your full stats in-game yet. Seems the answer is probably no, because it's not in the patch notes. But the leaderboards are there. That's a step in the right direction. Store updates. Loot boxes duplicate rates are reduced. Cool. Good. Fine. Chests contain 2 items of common, uncommon, rare, epic, or legendary quality. Every box contains at least 1 item that's rare or better. Cool. Good. Fine. I like it. Keep it up. Proud of you. Reliquaries are a premium loot box that contains 3 items, yada, yada, yada. Okay. So reliquaries got better. Good. They needed to be better. Reliquaries sucked for a while. Hopefully they're worth it now. Miscellaneous updates. Scroll visibility update in the store. I don't necessarily know what that means. I don't know why scrolls would be in the store. Disabled voice chat for Russia. Let me say that again. Disabled voice chat for Russia. Why? Why? Why are we disabling the Russia voice chat? What did they do wrong? What if they just want to blast, I don't know, whatever it is that Russian people stereotypically listen to? Why can't they just mic spam that all day long? Why not? Also, plenty of miscellaneous fixes here, which I am far too tired to read. If these are interesting to you, I encourage you to look at the patch notes linked in the description box down below to read them for yourself. I do see Death Knight in here. A fix for when Death Knight flame strike damaged players, but there was no flame effect. I don't think that this is the bug where you would take fire damage from stepping on fire that you couldn't see. I don't think that's that bug. It doesn't sound like it's that bug. I hope that bug was fixed, but I don't really know. I don't really know for sure. But yeah, I encourage you guys to read through the miscellaneous fixes here. Oh, ring outs count as kills now. I don't know why that wasn't in the patch notes. Must have just been overlooked because it was a very minor thing. But yeah, ring outs now count as a kill for the person scoring the ring out. So that's cool. I'm a fan of that. The little icon that pops up is good. The art team did a good job. I don't really know why the Trespasser is being shown from this really low angle. I mean, it's fine, but I don't know. That's just generally not the angle I see my guns from. I feel like I'm looking at like a very lewd picture of this Trespasser, like I'm looking at the part of it I'm not supposed to see, you know? It's very odd. But it's all good, because it's a really cool model, and it has an even cooler sound effect, which I've heard on another YouTube video, which I don't want to steal to show you guys. So maybe if I get lucky when I play Quake, and I get this thing, we can make a little video and show it off to you guys so you can see it and hear it for yourselves. If that's something that you would like, let me know. Anyways, guys, that'll do it for our patch notes. I think this patch overall is going to do a lot of good for the game. I think it's a great setup for CTF and hopefully the next couple of patches, but frankly, who knows? And we'll just have to wait and see. Of course, there is no Athena in this update. My assumption would be she will release alongside of CTF. Hopefully sooner rather than later. Hopefully by Christmas. Or, even better, Thanksgiving. Or, even better, Halloween. But we don't really know yet. We'll have to wait and see. Anyways, everyone, my throat is going to explode. I need to pass out. I will see you tomorrow on stream. And if I don't see you there, I'll see you around sometime. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you learned something new. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.